Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise, and now we're going to talk about the Arab family tourism, which is trending now in Cairo and the North Coast. And as the beginning of the regional summer vacation calendar, Egypt is witnessing a significant influx of Arab tourists, a demographic that remains a cornerstone of the nation's seasonal hospitality economy. And to talk more about this topic, we are very delighted to have with us Mrs. Reem Al Shernouby. She is a tourism expert. Thank you very much, Mrs. Reem, for coming today.
Thank you, Abir. Nice to meet you again and again all the time. I'm so happy with Nile TV.
Thank you, Reem. Tell us more, Reem, about the initial arrival data indicate about the volume of the Arab tourism this summer compared to previous peak seasons.
I see that this summer it's totally different. For sure, we have now around Egypt a lot of wars happening and a lot of things happening around Egypt. But at the end, the Arabians prefer Egypt. Prefer it because of a lot of reasons. We will talk about it more and more in this interview. But I see all the time that the Arabians prefer Egypt because its own climate. They have a weather similar to us, but they are a little bit warmer. But they prefer Egypt all the time because it's a little bit soft more than the Arabians or more than the Arabian countries. So whatever happening around Egypt all the time, Egypt going with its own way without stopping. So all the time we have no problem with the we can say the numbers of people who are or who prefer to come to Egypt to stay a lot of time in Egypt here.
Reem, Egypt, and Cairo specifically, has long been a staple destination for the regional visitors from the Arab countries around Egypt. What specific cultural and entertainment sectors in the capital are currently experiencing the highest demand?
I see that all the time Egypt or the people in all the world see all the time Egypt is just Cairo, but not only Cairo. But when we are talking about Cairo, we have to mention what we have in Cairo. The people prefer it's like a mix. Prefer Cairo because it's a mix. We can say, or we can see here a lot of historical sites like the pyramids, the museums, and also we can see restaurants, and we can see hotels, we can see the River Nile. So they prefer Egypt because, or they prefer Cairo because Cairo it's like a mix between a lot of things. Especially for the Arabians, they prefer it because of the night time or the nightlife in Egypt. They prefer the nightlife because they prefer to stay in the restaurants, especially in the two sides of the River Nile, to eat something, to drink something, because they don't have the River Nile. So they prefer especially Cairo because of this. But for sure, not only this, they prefer a lot of places in Egypt like Alexandria, North Coast, Sharm Sheikh, Hurghada, a lot of places, not only Cairo.
You mentioned, Reem, the North Coast and the flow of Arab tourism to the North Coast recently. What logistical factors are driving this change recently, Reem?
The Arabians prefer the North Coast. By the way, North Coast it's a Mediterranean Sea, totally different to Sharm Sheikh and Hurghada.
Of course.
So they came a lot and they tried a lot of places here near to Hurghada or Hurghada, Sharm Sheikh, wherever. But something new for them to try the North Coast, which is Mediterranean Sea, and we are famous for the clear water over there. So they prefer the North Coast because of the clear water that they have over there and the clean as well. And we are totally different because we added already a lot of places over there to be suitable and good for the tourists, especially the Arabians. So it's warm over there, but for them it's suitable, and they can spend the night over there as well. And they can stay in the restaurants to eat something at night because they prefer the nightlife, as we mentioned. So it's okay, it's working with them. Morning time could be beach time, night time could be the restaurants and the luxury places that they can stay a lot of time over there.
Reem, rising global inflation affects all travelers. How has the competitive pricing of Egypt's luxury hospitality sector helped in maintaining advantage over traditional European summer destinations?
I see that all the time because we are adding all the time something new. We have no chance to make it cheaper. So all the time we can make everything expensive, but just because of the quality of the services that we can give it to the visitors, especially the Arabians. And also because we added over there a lot of luxury hotels and luxury restaurants, so we can give them something not cheap and expensive, but they can try something new. So if we are talking about something they already tried in all the world, we can talk about a lot of places. Okay, they tried more than one time, they can see that it's still the same, but in Egypt we have nothing the same. Every day new change, new thing already added in Egypt. So the additions that we are adding nowadays helping and just protecting our prices to be a little bit expensive, not cheap, and also we are also protecting the identity of Egypt. So it's like a mix. We are giving and we are receiving.
Yeah.
It's like a deal meant between all of us. As Egyptians, as people giving services, and Arabians who prefer to spend the time here.
Of course. Reem, how are digital booking platforms and also the localized travel applications changing how Arab tourists plan their day-to-day activities once they land in Egypt recently?
Let me tell you something about this. The Arabians and all the people, actually all the visitors, prefer all the time to open the mobile phone, to use an application to be easier to book everything. And that's what they are doing now by using a lot of applications like Booking, Airbnb, to book a lot of places, to book a lot of services, to be easier to just to reserve everything before they come, and then they can find everything already ready for them. So the platforms that we are adding now and the applications that we are adding now for the people to use it and to be easier for them, helping more than giving or making the experience a little bit hard for them, because if they found everything easier for them to book, so everything will be easy later. So they prefer to use the applications that we already established nowadays to be easier for them, and it's something easier for them and also giving us a lot of advantages. Not only because we are adding something new, no, we are adding also some facilities helping a lot.
Reem, I want to talk more about the wellness tourism, medical tourism. How do you view the Cairo seeing measurable economic yield from its specific subsector right now and this kind of tourism?
As I told you, Cairo is not only for the pyramids and for the museum or for the museums overall, Cairo for everything. But if we are talking about the wellness activities, we can talk about Siwa more, because in Siwa a lot of people, not only Arabians, a lot of people come from all over the world just to try Cairo as a city, and they prefer to travel from Cairo to Siwa to spend some days over there to try this kind or this sector of tourism, and then they prefer to back here again to travel to another place or a place totally different like the North Coast or some stuff like this. So we are giving experience, as I told you before, that here we are giving offers. Like what? I'm now giving you an offer in Cairo, but when you are in Cairo, you can travel to a lot of places. You have time or you have the ability to divide your time by using the applications. Will be easier a lot for you. So the applications helping. Also the facilities that we are giving helping. So all the time, all this stuff helping more and more.
Yeah. Reem, with the shopping being a primary vacation activity for regional families, how do major retail expansions in New Cairo and the North Coast alter the domestic retail economy?
So the Arabians all the time prefer the shopping, and the shopping here, if we are talking about the shopping with their own view, because they have a view for this or they have an opinion for this. So if we are talking about shopping, will be the shopping malls. And now I guess we have in Egypt, not only in Cairo, and all Egypt, especially in the North Coast, because we are talking about the North Coast, we have over there a lot of shopping malls helping more and more in the shopping, especially for the Arabians. They prefer to stay here for vacation, and they prefer to go for shopping here, especially for the shopping malls. And here now in Egypt we have shopping malls with a lot of brands, international brands, not only Egyptian brands, and we have also like food court helping also to try something if they prefer to eat something in the malls. And also we are giving them also the ability to stay in the cafes to drink something, so we are giving them a lot of things at the same place. So the shopping malls, one of the reasons or the main reason of making the shopping easier, especially for the Arabians. And in the North Coast we have a lot of malls helping in this.
Reem, looking at the broader economic picture, What strategic measures should the state take to transform this highly successful seasonal summer peak into a sustainable year-round tourism model?
I guess by adding a lot of places, we
Mhm.
prefer, or I see that we have to add some of the new places, which helping, because as I told you, here, if we are adding, it will help more than being with the same level. So we have to add something new to make all the time Egypt new, because if we have something new, the experience will not be ended already. It will be long lasting. It will be continued with all the people, not only the Arabians. And with my view as a tourism expert, I see that all the time Egypt adding its own past in making everything easier and making everything new.
Yeah.
So some of the places that we have it now in Egypt, it's very old, but by the additions that we added, making it all the time new. And that's why I need, or why I see that we have to make it all the time with the places that we have in Egypt.
Reem, we've witnessed lately the increased direct charter flights from the Gulf area countries to regional airports like the Sphinx and Al Alamein impacted travel friction. Tell us more about the latest developments concerning this sector.
By the way, the two airports that we added recently helping so much, because at first we were using just one airport,
Yeah.
and it was so bad, and it was so actually hard for all the people to stay hours and hours to finish the papers, to take their own plane from place to the second. But now if we have more than one, it will be helping more by making it easier. They will not stay a lot. They will not take a lot of time to reach their own destination, especially if they are going to stay in Giza, for example. It will be easier to use the Sphinx airport. If they are going to stay in the North Coast, it will be easier to use the North Coast airport. So we are making it easier by establishing a new airport to make it easier for the visitors to travel from place to the second without using another van or car inside the city to go from place to the second. So making it easier and helping and not making everything crowded or making the places crowded.
Reem, in the past, Cairo and the beach resorts were viewed as completely separate trips.
Yeah.
Are we observing a rising trend in multi-destination itineraries and combine both hubs together?
Yeah, because at first we were just selling like tours, separate tours. Tour in Cairo, tour in Giza, tour in or 2 days or weekend in the North Coast. But now the companies that we have in Egypt selling or making offers by mixing all these places together in one program. So making it easier, making it easier for the people, making it okay. So you have time, for example, 10 days in Egypt. So 10 days in Egypt, we are going to divide it for you with the same price by giving them offers, by giving them some new experiences to try. So that's what I see that we are doing now here, or the company is doing now, that they are giving them some offers. And instead of being in one place, in just one place, to try more than one place with the same price. That's actually a clever hand that we are using nowadays here in tourism in Egypt, to divide the places, or to divide our own, the crowd to not be in one place. And dividing the places to be easier for the people and to enjoy the vibes of the places.
And Reem, how do you view the social media role in promoting the Egyptian tourism to the Gulf countries and the Arab tourists recently?
Social media all the time helping, not only with the Arabian countries or with the Arabians overall,
over the world.
helping in all the world. So as we mentioned, or as we said, that Egypt full of experiences. So if any one of them here in Egypt, for example, blogger or some stuff like that, so they will take a photo, they will post this photo, they will mention the place that they were in. So that's helping. It's like an advertisement, but without paying money.
It's
Yeah,
the best marketing.
yeah, marketing, but
method.
without paying money. So I see that that's a good thing, that nowadays the social media helping, but helping Egypt so much in making marketing, but without paying money. So the people prefer to come to stay in a lot of places, and also taking videos or recording videos, taking photos and posting to show the world what about the new places in Egypt. And that's helping more than being something not good for Egypt. No, it's helping. Sometimes it's showing some problems or some stuff like this, but at the end it's helping, because if anyone saw this photo, he will search where is this photo, I would like to try, I would like to try this experience, and that's helping more than being nothing.
Of course. Well, Reem Adel Shernouby, the tourism expert, thank you very much, Reem, for joining us today in Nile Cruise.
Thank you, Avia. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you, Reem.